Before we cover the principles in detail, we're going to have a brief introduction to processes and themes, starting with processes. You can see there, figure 13.1, PRINCE2 Processes. The key part of the diagram is the central part, which is the project environment, directing, managing and delivering a project. Above that, you can see corporate program management or the customer are represented in the top white box. But that's outside the project environment, and it's important to remember that for the exam. So how do we start a project? Well, that top layer, corporate program management or the customer, provides the project mandate. Now, this could simply be an email, a short document, even just a verbal direction to someone to start up a project. And you can see there that the mandate's going into directing a project. So at that stage, we have the project executive. And in starting up a project, in the minimum amount of time possible for the given project, and obviously depending on the size of the project, that'll vary greatly, but in the minimum amount of time possible for a particular project, is the project viable? Is it worth spending any sort of significant resource, effort on the project, or should we just stop at that early stage? Have we got a viable project? Is it desirable and is it achievable? They're key questions we'd be answering at that stage. Assuming it is desirable and achievable, we would then move into the initiation stage. So you can see there the decision to move in is coming from directing a project into initiating a stage. We then move into initiating a project. This is the first stage of every project, and this is where we spend time setting the project up. To a degree, we're repeating what we did in starting up a project, but going into more detail. We're spending more time, more resources, checking things more thoroughly, really setting firm foundations for a successful project in the initiating a project stage. At the end of initiating project stage, we have the option to stop. Then again, so we've got more information, more detailed information. We may choose to stop because it's not a viable project, or we can continue to delivery. And if we continue to delivery, we have one or more delivery stages. So on the diagram there, you've got 2 delivery stages, a first delivery stage, and then a final delivery stage. But we could just have one, or we could have many. We could have 10, 20, 100, 1,000, and the number of delivery stages will be dependent upon how risky the project is. The more risky, the more uncertainty there is, we're likely to have more and shorter stages. The more certain, the less risky the project is, we're likely to have fewer and longer stages. The end of each stage, it's important to recognise that at the end of each stage, we have a decision point where we can choose to continue to the next stage, or we can choose to stop the project. If we continue to the end, we will ultimately come to the end of the project and we'll have the final delivery stage, and we will close the project in a controlled manner. Sitting above those controlling a stage processes is directing a project. That's the project board's responsibility to direct the project to ensure good governance of the project. And below the controlling a stage, below the managing a project layer, we've got the delivering layer where we have managing product, delivering, that's where the delivery team sits. So we've got the 3 layers, directing, managing and delivering. Directing done by the project executive, managing by the project manager and delivering by the delivery team. We move through the processes from left to right, through starting up a project, initiating a project, controlling a stage, to finally closing a project. And at the end, you can see the reviewing a project, outcomes and benefits is the responsibility of that layer outside of the project because the project's finished, corporate, program management or the customer.